Saturday, February 4th, 2023, Black Resistance Movements, Free Black History Month lecture by myself, Michael Imhotep, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Visit theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com.
Racy, Erica, Michael, I appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow from Bethune-Cookman in Daytona. Holla!
Absolutely. we're gonna have to end this conversation. But Brother Michael, I know you always advise people to go to your website, the African History Network. And you got 30 seconds, big brother. Talk to us.
Okay, so African American History Month starts February, and it's on Saturday, February 4th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a free, I'm doing a free lecture that deals with the history of African American history, history of Black History Month. It deals with this year's theme, which is Black resistance. Okay, this year's theme, which is Black resistance. So go to our website. We had a free class session there, and then also we have a new online course starting up. Ancient Kemet, the Moors and The Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, 12-week online class. We have class number 1 coming up very soon. You can register for that as well. TheAfricanHistoryNetwork.com, TheAfricanHistoryNetwork.com. And this year's theme is Black resistance. Black resistance. That's the annual theme for Black History Month. I'll be doing a presentation dealing with Black resistant movements and the history of Black History Month as well. And Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Absolutely. TheAfricanHistoryNetwork.com.
Folks, you can check out Brother Michael Imhotep here on Mondays here on The Culture, and of course on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And we always are happy to have our brother on. And definitely check out his website, theAfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Brother Michael, thank you for joining us today, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me, Farajii. Saturday, February 4th, 2023, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing a free Black History Month lecture, Black Resistance Movements, and we'll do the Black History Month origins as well. We'll talk about Dr. Carter G. Woodson. We'll deal with some of the origins of Black History Month, African American History Month, but we'll deal with this year's annual theme is Black Resistance Movements, okay? There's been an annual theme for African American History Month going back to 1928, And Black History Month is not something that white people created and gave us. We created that for ourselves. That's Dr. Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History that he co-founded September 9th, 1915 in Chicago. Okay, we created that ourselves. That's not something we asked white people permission to do. And oftentimes we demean and diminish our own accomplishments, okay, thinking that white people gave us something. No, we created that. And that's out of self-determination. Okay. So visit our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. We have the information right on the homepage. You scroll down right below the information about our radio show. We have the information about the lecture. So we'll talk about some Black resistance movements and throughout history. Also, we'll deal with some of the history of African American History Month, Black History Month, and I'll give we'll do overview. We'll do an intro to a new 12-week online class that we have starting up on Saturday, February 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ancient Kemet, the Moors and The Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade. Okay, so we have a new session of that starting up as well. So we have the information right on the homepage of our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. So when you scroll down the page, you'll see the information dealing with my radio show, the African History Network show, Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also listen to the show in audio podcast format. Click right here for that. We have our PayPal and Cash App information. You can support the African History Network, $, the AHN show through Cash App, $, the AHN show through Cash App. Also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. And then you'll see the information here for the free lecture. Just click right here, register here, and you can register for it. Okay. And this is the current class we have going on right now. It's about the end, but you can register for this also Ancient Kemet, the Moors and The Maafa, Understand the Transatlantic Slave Trade, because you'll be able to watch it on demand. It's on sale right now, $60, regularly $130. But even after the course is over with, you can go back and watch the entire class as well. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you'll be able to watch the entire course. So that's how our online classes are. Even after the class is over with, you don't lose your access to that course that you registered for. This is taking place Saturday, February 4th, 2023, and you can register your children for the class. Well, the free lecture. I don't do a lot of cursing, things like that. My presentations aren't overly graphic, so I would say the content is PG-13. PG-13. Register your family for it also. Visit theafricanhistorynetwork.com. So when we look at this year's theme for African American History Month, right? Black resistance. Black resistance is the annual theme. And there's been an annual theme going back to 1928. Some of these annual themes have dealt with the continent of Africa also. So this presentation I'm doing on Saturday will look at a history of resistance movements from African Americans over the last 200 years. We'll also look at the origins of Black History Month in Dr. Carter G. Woodson. We'll do an introduction to a new 12-week online history class that I'm teaching as well, Ancient Kemet, the Moors and The Maafa, Understand the Transatlantic Slave Trade. Now, when we look at Black resistance movements, African Americans have resisted historic and ongoing oppression in all forms, especially the racial terrorism of lynching, racial pogroms, and police killings since our arrival upon these shores. Now, the way they phrase it, this comes from a solace, since our arrival upon these shores. I will rephrase that and say since the arrival of Europeans on these shores, because one of the things I deal with in the class and one of the things we'll talk about in the lecture that I'm doing, African people have been in this land we call the United States of America going back at least 51,700 years. We were here in this land before Native Americans even came into existence. And that's research coming from people like Dr. David Imhotep, who wrote the book, The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence. Okay. So we have to understand that. I hear people say things like, since we came here to these shores and things like this, and they want to put it at 1619 or what have you, right? And it's important to even understand that codified slave laws didn't even exist in any of the 13 colonies in 1619, okay? If we look at page 14 of Dr. David Imhotep's book, and he's a friend of mine, I've interviewed him 13, 14 times. He deals with a discovery in Allendale County, South Carolina, made in 2004 by Dr. Albert Goodyear, which deals with, they found 13 different types of evidence that thoroughly document an African presence in this country going back at least 51,700 years ago, okay? And these are the Khoisan, who have the oldest DNA on the planet and come from Southern Africa. They're also, and they're the ancestors of the Ainu and the Twa. But they found artifacts, architecture, campsites, carvings, Egyptian writings, footprints in lava, genetic M174D haploid groups dealing with DNA and genetics, linguistics, painting, skull, skeleton structures, and tools. They found 13 different types of evidence that thoroughly documented an African presence in this country going back at least 51,700 years. This is a picture of Dr. Albert Goodyear. Now, this is an article from ScienceDaily.com from November 18, 2004, called "New Evidence Puts Man in North America 50,000 Years Ago." So you can check out that article. But we have to understand that no, we did not first come to this land conquered and shackled in chains, conquered by Europeans and shackled in chains and enslaved. No, we were here before Native Americans even came into existence. This was our land stolen from us. So the 1950s and 70s in the United States was defined by actions. Let me back up. These efforts have been to advocate for a dignified self-determined life in a just democratic society in the United States and beyond the United States political jurisdiction. Okay. The 1950s and 70s in the United States was defined by actions such as sit-ins, boycotts, walkouts, strikes by African Americans and white allies in the fight for justice against discrimination in all sectors of society, from employment to education to housing, from employment to education to housing, in an effort to live and maintain and protect economic success. Black people have organized, planned violent insurrections against those who enslaved them, such as in Haiti, and armed themselves against murderous white mobs, as seen in Memphis, Tennessee in 1892, Rosewood, Florida, 1923, and New Orleans, 1900. Okay, like the Robert Charles riots in 1900 in New Orleans. And Robert Charles, his brother, he shoots like 27 people, kills a few white police officers. The Robert Charles riots in 1900. But also, when we look at the Red Summer in 1919, okay, now the second online class that I teach, from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1800 to 1968, we deal with the Red Summer 1919. Okay, and I teach that class on Sundays. Right now, I teach that class on Sundays. That's at our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, as well. And the Red Summer 1919, you had over 25 major race riots in this country. Okay, the year after World War I ended. And a lot of these white men went to fight in the war. When they came back, their jobs were taken by African Americans and immigrants who were here. And this exploded into racial conflicts all across the country. Additionally, some African Americans thought that the best way to resist was to self-liberate, as seen by the actions those who left the plantation system of Henry Adams and Benjamin Pap Singleton, when they led a mass exodus westward in 1879, and Bishop Henry McNeil Turner of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, who organized immigration to Liberia. In 1879, you have the Black Exodus, of 1879 to Kansas. And you have about 6,000 African Americans migrating from Louisiana and Texas out to Kansas. Okay. And in 1878, the 1878 statewide election in Louisiana, Democrats take back control of the state government. So you're going to have a lot of African Americans who are going to leave Louisiana, especially, fleeing white supremacy, white domestic terrorism, and they're going out west, and they go into Kansas looking for a better way of life. So we're going to deal with a lot of this on Saturday in my lecture. Okay, so African American business owners, we know African American History Month is here. You're looking for ways to bring on new customers, bring on new clients, and market to them. Email us at ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com, ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com, to advertise with the African History Network. Our current promotion is buy 1 month, get 1 month free. Now, you may say, well, look, I want to take advantage of this promotion, but I'm not ready to advertise right now. I need to advertise in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. That's fine. You can secure your ad space today, because we have limited ad space. You can secure your ad space today and run your ads later, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, what have you, when you're ready. Okay. Email us at ahnshow@theafricanhistorynetwork.com. And we have 3 different advertising packages to meet your needs. So we take your 30-second and 60-second commercial. If you don't have one, we create one for you, okay, and no additional charge. We take your 30-second, 60-second commercial. We put it into the rebroadcast of our shows, the African History Network show, and the broadcasts I do throughout the week. But also we put it into the audio podcast version of these broadcasts as well. And we're on 9 different audio podcast platforms also. Okay. iHeartRadio, Castbox, FM Player, TuneIn, 9 different audio podcast platforms.